just want to say first that from every session that we had learned so far, whether it is karmas and its function, the Buddhist cosmology, time and rise and fall of the universe, and the right view, and all the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, and today the right view. These can be related to each other. For more reference, you can also check out our YouTube channel for the previous session that had been recorded. So this can help you remind. And sometimes when we mention, this can keep you understand what is going on or what I mentioned about, all right? But of course, today it's simple and basic. In fact, some people said that, oh, you are Buddhist. You're supposed to believe in the Buddha or something like that, right? In fact, the Buddhist itself, some people even ask, what is Buddhism? In fact, Buddhism, as I mentioned before in our first episode of our podcast, is mentioned that Buddhism is the way of life of living, the way of life to find inner peace regularly and as one live and progress on. So that's therefore in the right view, these are the reference or the frames of reference that allow a person as a way to live their life. Okay, and it can also use as a base discretion for one to live and govern their whole living before they think, act, or speak. These are the based on their discretion that allow them to progress in spiritual as well. But of course, not all of us have all of this. But as we grow, as we learn, we eventually progress and understand about this right view. So that is come to topic today, to explaining as a basic foundation. You don't have to be the Buddhist to learn this, but if you are living in a way according to this right view that I'm about to mention, this is part of your life that can help you to be a good person, find inner peace, and grow in your way of life, in spirituality as well. And even if you practice this, it's just like, it's going to be, I should say that it's kind of like the path for you to attain the Four Noble Truths. Let's begin with our topic today, the right view. Sharing my screen now. If there's any questions or anything, then you can leave it on the chat, all right? So that way I can see you and also discuss with you and answer your question. But if sometime I do not answer properly or sometime missing, you can also message me and I will answer you on that part as well, okay? So that's just say that I'm open to suggestion. And now let's begin to our Buddhist knowledge. Let's see, sharing my screen, just one moment. Here we go. That's right. All right, here we go. Sharing my screen right now. The right view. Okay. Just a moment. The screen is not properly. All right. Yeah, that's better. Is it? Okay, better. It won't disturb my screen. Okay, good. So the right view. What is the right view? Well, it could be a wrong view too. It could be half wrong view, half right view. Either way, the right view in Buddhism, if you learn and recall from the previous session about the Four Noble Truths or the Eightfold Path, it is the first path of the Eightfold Path that allow one to start achieving and walk into this journey toward nirvana or attain enlightenment or free oneself from suffering. Without this right view, the other Eightfold Path cannot be followed because it is like the start of the journey. If one started wrong, like when you have a right map, you can go to the destination that you want. But if you got a wrong map, it would lead you to somewhere else where you may not get to your goal easily. So therefore, the right view is the foundation mindset or the frame reference for your mind to think. So that's to have a good discretion. One must have this right view. Without this, it will be quite difficult for one to gain, to understand, and also to achieving it. Okay, it's a frame of reference that one can get only if, I say, you don't know about Buddhism and your country where you live, there's no Buddhism and nothing. It is some information that one must get first from whether it's reading, listening, or anything. It must have some information to start off with. Without this, it will be difficult to start off the right view. Therefore, in the right view itself, it can be separated into two levels, advanced and the basic right view. The advanced right view has already mentioned before in the previous session about the Four Noble Truths. So therefore, if one practices the Noble Eightfold Path completely, it will begin to realize this first, and then it will be continue to the right thought, right speech, right action, and so on. So the Four Noble Truths is the advanced one for the mindset. So therefore, there is suffering. The cause of suffering, of course. If there is a cause, there must be the end. And if there is the end, to get there, it is the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which is the Eightfold Path. Therefore, these are the advanced. Of course, we already mentioned about this. Therefore, we're going to go into the basic one that we are here today. Thank you for Miss Panya, who make a very good presentation. I really like it though. Basic right view. It is the mindset that one must acquire from the outside, like I mentioned earlier. Can you get it on your own? Yes, but as you live on with your life, it takes some time to realize on your own. It could be a lot of lifetime if you are endowed yourself with whatever around you, but never notice or reflect upon yourself. The faster you reflect on yourself or keep your mind inside your body. The mind, when it's still and keep inside the body, it will have more ability to reflect. When it reflects on itself, it earns much more knowledge and realization quicker. So that's if one cannot get the outsource, it takes some time, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. It's possible, but it takes some time, and there will be some example after this. Too bad. I'm not sure I have the video, but I will take a look. But we can enjoy that, right? So this basic right view, there are 10 qualities, not just one. Yes, just 10 qualities that must earn from experience, whether it's someone telling you or you learn it through your own life. But it takes some time to realize that too. So therefore, the faster you have someone tell you, the better you can get started off with. Let's take a look. They are number one, generosity bear fruit. Some may not agree on this, but one thing, the Lord Buddha used to say, I don't have a direct translation, but generally it means like this. Whoever share or give will always be loved by others. In other words, if you want to start a friendship, starting the trust, or having someone being nice to you, you're giving them first. Whether it is your possession, your knowledge, your smile, your time, everything. If you can share, you can gain people favor. So this is the belief or the first right view that generosity does bear fruit. In other words, it gives the result. It doesn't mean if you give, you get the fruit. No, you give, you got something back. Whether it is love, kindness, generosity, whatever it is, as you start with giving, it's coming back to you already. Therefore, learn to give. Whether it is your knowledge or whatever you have, your time, your effort, whenever you start with this, it will always bring love back to you. Therefore, this is a practice that can slowly develop. Those who hardly done this, it will be quite difficult for them to understand. But when they start, for example, there is a story they call this chicken soup for the soul. I think many of us may have read the book, some of these before. One of the stories that I came across was there was a young boy and a father go together on their, holidays and on their weekend to watch the movie theater. Of course, that's not in the time of the COVID, so therefore they go together in theater right now. So what they did is that they get on the line to buy a ticket, but when it's their turn to purchase a ticket, watching the movie they want, the father just realized that he forgot his wallet, but it was a long line too. And he just, won't know what to do. And if he go back and get the wallet at home, it would take some time and the movie will be a start. They will waste their time. And the son want to watch this movie so much, but he don't know what to do. But suddenly, there was a voice of the man behind him. He said, "Sir, it is your money. You drop it on the floor." The father saw the money dropping on the floor. He realized that someone, probably that man who's saying, gave him the money. He just, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. You really helped me." So he take the money from the ground and paid for the ticket. And then he go enjoy the movie with his son. What about the man who gave him the money? Well, one thing that he get in return, the appreciation and the joy of the son, the joy of the boy who have a chance to watch movie with his father, even though he may lose his money. But one thing, he feel much better to help someone who is in need than just taking it from someone. Therefore, this is the fruit of generosity that's starting. And of course, if we learn about the law of karma, we're going to talk about that after this as well. This is the beginning. When you are starting this, in fact, it usually start with when you start to give or help someone. It normally start with someone close to you or someone that you know, whether it's your sister, your family, your relatives, your best friends, or your friends. This starts with this one first. That's leading to number two, when practice further, realizing that giving support does bear fruit. In other words, when now practice giving more and more, just gonna be like this man that I mentioned earlier, helping out someone who is in need. That's when we give, you feel that we feel our mind are more open. We want to help more. See people smile, free from their suffering, or when they're in trouble, you are able to do something that relieve their suffering. That's giving support that's bear fruit. In other words, whenever someone is in need, practice of giving more, you become not only be kindness now, it's more compassion. When you see someone suffer, you want to free them and help them. That's giving support that's bear fruit. And so more and more like this when everyone in society around you, even just a small unit in the family, everyone in the family member helping each other, it start to give, I would call starting the society to be more peaceful, a place a better to live than just want to take. It is something that showing that giving support does bear fruit. Okay, and by doing this, it will just only improve the quality of living around you. Whether it's your family, remove the suspicion, promote love and kindness everywhere you go. Those who give become example to the receiver. Someday when I have a chance, I want to do the same too. That's, I think I showed you one of the story before. Want to take a look? Anyone? Leave me some comment. If there is, I will show you, all right? But as for now, let's go first. Leave in a comment, I'll see it, and I'll get back to you, okay? So giving support does bear fruit, but it is alone enough to go. This will leading to the first one. All right, Mr. Paul, Here come. I will show you the movie after this. It's only 4 minutes. All right. Giving respect does bear fruit. In other words, when a person doing something, at least if you don't show appreciation, smile or be happy, it is already enough. But once you practice more and more, those who give become respect or become example for those who receive. And that is become their inspiration for them. Whenever they have opportunity in the future, they would do the same thing like this person had done to them. Just like if you watch in superhero movie, many young boys, when they see someone doing some good deeds or helping someone in need, they just inspired to do just like that superhero. Same thing too. This is also showing that giving respect does bear fruit, because when someone doing good deed, if you don't appreciate or if you don't respecting them, do you think they're gonna continue to do more? They might, but as more and more, it never show result. When it is the time that we need someone to help, it would take some consideration a lot to do again, because they do not believe that it does giving them any benefit. But if we show respect, appreciation, or someone who doing good deed, like for example in Buddhist knowledge, the practice is called sadhu or rejoice in your merit. This will encourage people to continue and do more good deed. And this is one thing, all right? So, well, let me show you some of the video that may be giving you general idea of giving does bear fruit. So giving support does bear fruit, and giving respect does bear fruit. Stay tuned. Just give me a few minutes. Right. Exit. And here, let me show you my stop sharing screen first. Seeing my face first. Okay, everyone, give me some few minutes getting on, you know. All right. Here we go. Where is the video? Ooh, so many files. Here we go. Okay. Here comes sharing the screen now. Hello, Eileen. Good to see you. Waking up early? Where is it? Oh, Hey, why is not in here? Oh, it's gonna have to be shown in there. Sharing screen. There it is coming up now. All right, everyone, enjoy the movie 4 minutes.
Total $68.
I'm sorry. Can I return the cake, please?
Sure, yes.
I want the cake, please. I won't ask for anything else.
Next time, okay, when we can afford it.
Last time you said that. The cake is not tasty. Let's buy something else, okay?
They don't want that?
Yes.
I'll take it then.
Okay.
Hey. Hello. This is for you.
No, we cannot accept it.
Would you please?
There's no reason for you to buy the cake for us.
Well, when I was 7, my mother wanted to buy me a cake.
Mommy, I want dessert.
But at the counter, we didn't have enough.
Can we get something else?
It's my birthday today. Can I choose my own cake, please?
I'm sorry.
Then, there's this man. I've never met him before.
Here, have the cake. Happy birthday.
I didn't know his name. I never got a chance to say thank you. But I've never forgotten him.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Can I have your contact number? Let me repay you when we have the money.
Promise me something, okay? Someday, when you're able to help somebody, you will do it?
I chose this cake for your birthday.
Wow, this is my favorite. Thank you.
Let's go and put some candles.
Oh, careful. You shouldn't have spent the money.
Actually, a Kaiman paid for it.
He give me this note.
Please write down your address. I'll bring the money back to you later.
A simple act of caring creates an endless ripple.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Okay, good. All right. So, as you can see in here, from the first 1, 2, 3 writing, it is something that we must do in order to start off by giving. That's when we are giving, it creates love, kindness, and compassion. And once it becomes inspiration and also a model for people to continue on in become a good example in society. And this is the starting. But once you do more and more, it will leading to these good people. And when they have this starting in their mind, you will see that consequence of wholesome and unwholesomeness actions. In other words, everything we do, it does have a result. When we give, we get love. When we hurt, we get hate. Same thing. Wholesome and unwholesome also mean good and bad deed action that has a consequence. Therefore, in every action we do, it has its consequence follow us just like the shadow follow us everywhere. This means that whether we do not practice the right view, but whenever we do something good or bad in our life, it has a consequence. Therefore, start doing good deeds by sharing. And when you share, whether it is compassion, kindness, it's follow. and inspire for many people and gain respect. That's starting your life with this will become even more powerful, more peaceful, and loved by everyone you go to. Therefore, this is number 4. But these are just for individual. But once they are having family, it is begin to continue. Or before we talk about family, start with this one first. I've got the sequence of the number. Okay. The belief in the reality and the existence of this world. This world that I mentioned or mentioned in here is not about it's not about this whole world. It's about your present life. Because through the Dhamma study about the law of karma, if you recall from the previous session that I taught you before, who you are now is the result of what you have done in the past. And so who you'll be in the future is what you are doing in the present. So the belief, the reality of this existence in this world is that you are here now as good as you are, or you are become successful and loved by many people is because of what you have done in the past, including the previous life and the past that you have been born until now. This is the belief in the reality in whatever the consequence that you have done is showing now. And what we have done will be the result in the present and in the future as well. That's in the future in here. This also acknowledge about the law of karma and the existence of this world. But yes, as you understand about the existence of your present now, it should lead to the next one, which is the belief in the reality of the existence of the next world. And my guess, you can guess now, the next world is your future. And also meaning, the future of what you are doing. However, is this all? It's also mentioned too that the future afterlife, but we're going to talk about in the next review, okay? Understand one's karma affect this way, and our thought, words, and action. Therefore, whatever we do right now is going to be affected in the future. For example, if you're taking care of your parents well, your son, your daughter see that, and according to your karma, then the end, your son and daughter will love you and will come back and take care of you the way you did to your parent as well. It is something that the Buddhists practice and also kind of like the way of they raise their children as well, which is quite different than the Western. But of course, everywhere has a different culture and custom. But it doesn't mean that if you don't practice this, it's gonna make you become a bad person. No, it means that, well, at least you can take care of your own. And also what you do from now on, while you practice of take care of your own, you're gonna be able to living by your own self in the future as well. Therefore, by this realization, acknowledge the existence of the next world. It means that whatever you did now in the present is gonna not affect only just in the future, but also after life. However, to understand on this part also, meaning that by understand having the right view from number 1 to number 6, father and mother also become our influential figures because they are the model that we were the first person who saw them as our model. So whatever we speak, whatever we eat, whatever we do, they are a model for us. But it doesn't have to be biological father and mother. It could be someone who are raising us. Therefore, whoever we are close to, we're gonna copy them. That's most likely they are. Therefore, if they have this, it means that since they are very close to us, so if we want to have a good influence figures in the future, we should also start with ourselves and taking that as a good step to become the model for the others. Okay, and also this gonna leading us to see someone who are having the same similar tastes, similar beliefs, similar act like us. So we're gonna be meeting this kind of person in the future as well, we are. Okay. So once we were born in such circumstance, our own parents also become the figure, and we owe a debt to them too, because without them, we cannot survive till now. Somebody said, that's not true. When I was born, someone take care of me. That's true, but that because whoever taking care of you now become your stepfather or someone who is guardian parents or legal guardian, and that could be considered as a parent as well. That's therefore we need to accumulate a lot of good deeds that could lead our life to have a meeting a good parents in the future, next lifetime too. And once practice this in the future, therefore, it's gonna lead to us to believe that, spontaneous arising beings does exist. Before, I do not insist or I do not talk about this much, but only just in the Buddhist cosmology about the life after death. But now, when we understand the consequence of our actions, whether it's good or bad, it does have the result and create a place for us to live in the future. So therefore, afterlife, when we pass away, a being that exists or being born right away, without having nurture from the egg or from the wombs, it does exist too. Just like in the angels, they born spontaneously without having someone to raise them. So one's karma is where it's gonna lead a person. Therefore, in the afterlife, a birth like this is created by our own action. If one go to the happy realm, they just born and grow up right away. Same thing if one go to the unhappy realm, they just born and grow up right away without having someone taking care, nursing from the baby until grow up. It's called spontaneous arising. So that's when a person pass away. They do not need to grow from the little child into a grown adult. They become grown adult right away. Therefore, it depends too on our action. And it's showing that what we're gonna continue in this cycle of rebirth without ending. Because if you recall from the Four Noble Truths, one cannot end their suffering without realizing the Four Noble Truths. And to realize the Four Noble Truths, we must practice the Eightfold Path. And to practice the Eightfold Path, we must start off with having the right view. From number 1 to number 9 until now. We don't see the end yet, and we don't see the example. So that's number 10. The most important one is, okay, the Buddha and Arahants does exist. If we are living without having Buddhism, it's okay. We're gonna living on with our life, and whatever we live on, we're gonna believe that. But once we see the example of someone who does really able to get practice, train their mind to become pure and free themselves from the cycle of rebirth, this become a model and can teach us and show us the way. And as we begin to practice and follow their footsteps, then we will be able to free our cycle of rebirth. And that's leading to us that the Buddha and the Arahant, or the monk who study under the guidance of the Buddha, who had reached the state of enlightenment, does exist. Thus, they are the role model and proof, the living proof that a person like us can be like them. And we can follow their footsteps, and we become arahants. Or if we wish for higher good deeds, wish to help everyone, learn this by yourself without anyone teaching you, then you become the Buddha. These can also happen too. So that's by having the right view, having the benefit is that, in conclusion. Okay. Having right view from number 1 to number 4 is quite long. So I want everyone to be true. So let me read it out. So this way, it won't it will give you the corporate understand idea. So understand the first four right view, you will have a peaceful and happy life by practice of or study or believe or practice one or right view 1 and 2. People can be happy, and when they do not abandon those who suffer, but instead try to help them. To do this, they have to understand the fruit of supporting others, and thus these will overcome the social problems and global the whole world. And by practice of number 3, they become the role model, and you will stop fighting from looking at other person, giving them a chance, disregard of their mistake. And this is the benefit of having the third view as well. You will not see and overlook the fault or mistake that they may have, but look at only the good side of that person. And this also improve the political stability in the country as well. And fourth is that the people would not allow selfishness into their life, and that's when they understood this wholesomeness that they must practice, and it does give result. They will continue and do the good deeds. And if everyone practice this, there will be no problem in the society. Okay. Now for the benefit of right view 5 to 10. The remaining 5 to 10 right view are the reality of life in accordance with the Dhamma teachings. That's whatever ones do. From the past, it will result in the present. From the present, it will lead to the future and afterlife and the next life as well. So it doesn't have to be Buddhism, but just only in your own actions, whether you are good or bad, it will come back to you. It will show you the way of how your future life is going to be. So therefore, everyone, don't be careless. Practice and do all good deeds. Will show you the way of inner peace. So in conclusion, very conclusion now. Practice of the 5th right view will show you the happiness that and suffering of each person does not appear out without reason. It may have because of, no, it's not may have, it because of what you have done before. That is why you experience something like that. And in the future, if you already understand the consequence, so stop doing what you have done. So that way in the future, it will not affect you even more difficult. So therefore, when people die, it is not the end of their story. They will be reborn until they get themselves out of the cycle of rebirth. And the benefit of 7 and 8. Mother and father figures have their virtue, because at least if they don't take care of us, they're giving us a chance to live in this world. Imagine if they are doing abortion, we would not have a chance to survive until now. At least we own that much gratitude. And if they are taking care of us, it's even more depth of gratitude, because we have survived, we have become who we are, success right now, happy right now, because they are the one who are provide such behavior, knowledge, and taking care of us. But if they don't, whoever are our parents who are our legal guardian, they are the one that we own the debt to. So that at least whatever we do is gonna keep bring us to this person, or become leading to meeting them again, or I'm not like them. I mean, whoever have the similar character or traits, that's how the karma would bring or lead a person to meet them in the future. Okay, and let's practice like this 9 and 10. You will see the result is that 9, it empowers people to believe that death is not the end, and is also consequence of our own action, whether we're gonna go to the happy realm or unhappy realm. And number 10, it is the practice of, well, if you want to end the suffering or exit the cycle of rebirth, one must practice on the footstep of the Buddha and the Arahants who has become the model. And this is the right view that we need to instill in our mind. And so everyone, hopefully, by having this benefit, a person who has this right view will be willing to do the good things. Of course, It shows us understand as a basic foundation or the frame of reference for our mind to think. Or you can call this in short discretion. A person will also possess the drive to meditate constantly every day, because if you see now, by practice of giving, it allows yourself to be happy, helping others, and everyone around you also happy. When you meditate, it's easier. And why should you meditate? Because it's the only way for you to free your mind and clear yourself, find the path to nirvana. And also, those who meditate consistently will have a good emotions and can easily understand the truth that everyone has good and bad in them. So that's the more you become finding inner peace, the easier you let go and accept what is happening easier. And then accepting that people are imperfect, therefore, you must rely on each other to help create a better world of world peace together. And thus these people will learn more about how to develop themselves to reach the level where they may support others. So that's by practice of these the benefit of the right view. Therefore, everyone, this is the right view, the foundation of a person to be a good person in society, and a first step for you to free yourself from suffering as well. So hopefully the benefit that you learn from our Buddhist knowledge today can be benefit to everyone who come listen or those who are watching this video clip after our session today. Thus, thank you very much for joining us today. Before I part and end our session today, is there anyone having question or like me to repeat or something that's not clear? Now is the time. You can type it on the chat or open your mic and telling now. Thank you, Long Paul. Sadhu. Hopefully this could be a benefit to you. Ashley, Mr. Kumar, anyone like to ask or anything that's not clear like me to repeat? Irene, Eileen, Linnea, Shuki, and Taishi, anyone? Maybe not now yet, but once I got it, I will send it to you, right? Well, that's all right, don't worry. That's also available for everyone too. Well, hopefully, when you practice this, understand this as a frame of reference in your mind. What you think, what you speak, what you act, and what you do for a living will be in a good consequence now if you practice and have the right view as a frame reference or discretion in your mind. For more detail, we can discuss later on. Check in our Buddhist Knowledge podcast. So this way you can learn and enjoy much more wisdom in there. Especially you learn much easier too when you listen to the illustrative example of each of the blessing. It's a very good story and reference in there too. All right. Well, if there is no one to ask, well, I would like to ask everyone to turn on your camera, and so our MC Priyu can,